Frank's VR says, I'm challenging myself to learn to use a sewing machine to make my son's Halloween costume this year. A space bounty hunter pattern. Do you have any tips for sewing for cosplay, especially easy mistakes to avoid? Luckily, this pattern doesn't have sleeves, so no need to explain the dark art of sewing shoulders. Well, I couldn't possibly explain the dark art of sewing shoulders because I'm terrible at it. Even I've done it when I had to. Usually my technique is to hire someone who knows how to do it. Easy mistakes to avoid. What would I have liked to have been told at the outset of using a sewing machine is a sewing machine is going to stop working on you a whole bunch. Not by design, but like you're just going to be threading it and rethreading it and resetting your material and trying stuff and failing at it and going again. So, you know, my advice would be the same advice for learning any new skill. Get ready to do it at least twice, if not 3 times, so that the first time is your sacrificial lamb, and the second time is where you get to understand things, and the third time is where you get to use that understanding. That is a terrific rule of thumb. Using a sewing machine for cosplay often means that you are exceeding that sewing machine's rating, duty rating. I had an old Pfaff that I bought many years ago. I matriculated to a Janome HD 3000, which is a terrific consumer level sewing machine with lots of power. It sews through lots of denim in my experience. I was able to sew my Wiley Post suit, layers and layers and layers of canvas on that Janome. And even with my Sailrite, which is an industrial machine and can sew through a 1/4 inch of leather, I am frequently trying to do stuff with it that is so hard for it to do that I'll break needles or I'll shear the thread because I'm going through a material that's too hard. Using a sewing machine means you are constantly fixing the sewing machine, is the thing I want to say. It doesn't mean that sewing machines aren't well made. It just means that specifically for cosplay, man, you are always running stuff through that machine that are harder than that machine is often used to. And if it's new to you, you are also going to make those common mistakes. I didn't have YouTube when I was a kid. I had home economics. So I just had, take a pattern, draw it out, make 2 pieces of fabric and sew around the outside and stuff it, and you got a pillow. Like, it was really, really simple. Maybe the other thing that I would say is to recognize if you have built stuff before using wood or steel or paper and you haven't yet sewn, I will tell you that sewing is the same process as carpentry, as welding. It is planar forms meeting under certain rules and conditions. That's all carpentry is. And frankly, that's all sewing is. It's just the rules and conditions are very different. But I like to point out that if you get good at visualizing stuff in a sewing environment, you have built the skills to visualize stuff in a carpentry environment. You didn't realize that those skills are applicable. I'm here to tell you that they are totally applicable. So it's good to think like that. Make paper models to get used to your pattern. And again, get used to doing it at least twice. Yes, at least twice. Time for 1 or 2 more? All right. Is there a cosplay you want to do but have not been able to because of time or complexity? Andrew London asks this question. Yes, there is a spacesuit that I want to make. I have all the materials for this spacesuit, but it requires, the main body of the suit requires, hold on. I thought I stuck a pin in my shoe. The main body of this spacesuit that I want to make is all foam construction. And I am intimidated by foam construction of this caliber. Yeah. So I look at like Bill Duran and Beverly Downan's work and I'm totally intimidated by how clean and beautiful it is. And this suit, I want to be clean and beautiful. It's got very specific lines, and I will tackle it someday. I just haven't yet quite worked up the nerve. Serious, yeah. Because it's like I'm okay with foam, but for big compound curves, which this suit requires a whole crap ton of, that's, I want a certain level of quality out of this thing. And in order to get it, I kind of have to get past my nerviness about working in foam at that level and just try it. Yeah. I keep threatening to make this costume every single year, and I still haven't done it. Some gear. Jared Chapin, could you show some of the gear you would bring with you to a con in case of damage or repairs you might have to make to your costume? Always, I bring hot glue. I bring CA glue, and I bring 5-minute epoxy. I bring tapes. I bring cloth tapes, paper tapes, electrical tapes, all for different reasons. I usually bring something for cutting, a couple of different blade options, always an X-Acto, always a single edge razor blade. They do different things. I bring a saw, a hand saw. I bring string. I bring parachute cord. That might save my butt at some point. Packages. Depending on the costume, I may bring silver paint to hide crimes. I may bring other paints to hide some crimes. That is the sort of basic kit. Baling wire. Baling wire. Number 8 fencing wire, baling wire, just a standard soft steel wire, and sometimes also soft aluminum wire. Yeah, I try and travel with what I need to fix most of what might happen in that costume. So depending, past that main list that I've just given, I always make sure I bring pencils and a sketchbook. I always make sure to bring pencils and a sketchbook. And then, anything past what I've just described would all be costume dependent. If it is electronically complex, I'll bring, things that I might need, like an electrical meter to troubleshoot. But yeah, that is my basic list of tapes and glues and safety pins. You can't bring enough safety pins. Seriously, those are really, really important in an emergency in cosplay. Is there anything else that I'm forgetting that you can think of?
Hook and loop.
What's that?
Hook and loop.
Hook and loop. Oh yeah, hook and loop. Velcro, any kind of hook and loop, depending on what you might need. The self stick can really save your butt. Yeah. If you have things that you have learned to bring to your cosplays for repair, I'd love to know what they are. Look, take a look at what a cosplay repair guy or gal looks like when they're wearing, you notice they always have safety pins on a gauntlet, man. I swear I always see that. Hot glue in a holster. Yeah, dowels are always really good to bring. Pipe cleaners are amazing. Zip ties, always bring zip ties of multiple sizes. They should be from small all the way up to handcuff size. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to support us even further, you can by becoming a tested member. Details are, of course, below, but it includes all sorts of perks, and we're building them all the time. You get advanced word and behind-the-scenes photos of some of our projects. Questions, you get to ask direct questions during my live streams, and we have some members-only videos, including the Adam real-time series of unbroken, unedited shots of me working here in the shop. They are weirdly meditative. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you on the next one.